First item on the agenda, consideration of April 25th, 2022 meeting minutes. Are there any changes or corrections? Is there a motion to approve or motion? All right, any other further discussion? All in favor, say aye. All opposed, say nay. All right. Motion passes. No old business, so new business. Case DR 2208, request for design approval, CD Downtown Zoning District, installation of projecting sign at 318 East 2nd Street, Mississippi River Distilling Company, petitioner, Ward 3. Matt, you want to start us off?
Let's just keep going. You can jump ahead 2 slides. Sure.
Before we do that item, I think we're just going to do an official hi to Gail, our newest design review board member. So why don't we just do a quick round so that everybody knows who each other are. We had to sit down with Gail earlier, so she knows the three of us. Why don't you go ahead and start, Carla? Oh. Okay.
All right. And I'm Evan, nice to meet you.
All right, so the proposal before us today, Mississippi River Distilling Company, they're opening up a new tap room and tasting room down on 2nd Street. So as part of that project, they're installing a new sign. So this is an existing framework that's currently on the building. So it's gonna be a projecting sign about 12 square feet in area. And then they have that rendering that just kind of shows the proposed location. So it's above, more pedestrian oriented. Just features their logo and then some Art Deco style text and font. They tried to choose colors that complemented the architecture of the building. So staff believe that the proposal satisfies the downtown design guidelines in creating a safe and pedestrian-friendly environment. So staff is recommending approval. And then that image on the right shows the existing signage on the building. So their sign will be the one further from view of this photo. And I don't see the applicant here.
Okay.
But
is there any questions or comments from the board?
Just from a walking standpoint and it being up a lot higher, I don't know if maybe the actual wording could be a little bit bolder blue, just to kind of stand out a little. But other than that, I mean, but I think it looked totally fine.
the sign will not be illuminated.
So at night it won't be lit up at all, or no?
No, not as proposed.
Okay.
But is it those light bulbs right below it? Do they work?
Yeah, the lighting on the building does work,
Yeah.
and actually, this is a section of 2nd Street that is getting some streetscaping as well.
Yeah. And with all the windows, the interior will be fairly lit, so I think it'll be okay.
Any other comments?
That we approve?
Any other questions or comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. All right, motion carries. All right, request for authorization, allow zoning administrator to approve sign face changes.
Okay, so we don't really have anything to present on this one. This is based off of some conversations with some downtown business owners that own a couple different properties. So really, this is actually a really good example. So this black sign here says Artisan Grain Distillery and the drawing room. So the Mississippi River Distillery is actually replacing the Artisan Granary. And normally, this would have to come to the design review board just to take Artisan Granary off of the sign and to make the drawing room logo bigger. So conversations with the property owner, who does own several properties in the downtown, was, is there any consideration the board would have on letting some staff level decisions be made for what we call sign face changes? So it wouldn't be anything related to the sign structure itself. Nothing size wise would change. If they wanted to change any illumination or anything like that, it would always go to the board. But we were just kind of wondering if the board would grant some level of staff level review so that they don't have to wait a month to come to the board. They felt like that would be, in general, more business friendly as tenants are changing out or rebranding occurs with some of our, so when the Radisson rebranded to Doubletree, that would be one example, that they didn't actually change any of the signs themselves. They just rebranded it as the Doubletree instead. So we thought we'd open with that discussion to see how the board felt about that.
So like in this example, if it was the drawing room who wanted to just update their sign and say they didn't want it to be black and white anymore, but they're keeping it within the same dimensions of their current one, they're asking if they could go ahead and make those changes without approval from the board, basically, but approval from city staff.
Right, and
Okay.
that would be an example of something that could be done. Generally, so the only other time we've asked for any kind of staff level approval was back in 2020 after derecho, just in case some of the roofs needed to be replaced. We didn't have any so most of the roofs in DRB's purview are flat roof, so we didn't have to actually use that. But at the time, one of the rules we had is they still needed to fill out the design review board application. If at any time we felt like it was something that really should go to the board, we would still have them come to the board, or if they didn't agree with staff's recommendations, that would be another instance where we'd have to have them come to the board as well.
Do you know how many signs you're talking about?
So the great majority of our signs would probably be sign face replacement changes instead of creation of new signs. Although lately, when I was looking through the last couple of years, there were new signs. So Toasted, that was a new sign. Raccoon Motel was a new sign. So it's kind of hard to tell how many would be sign face changes versus new signs.
I don't see a problem with that. The staff has a great understanding of the guidelines and the regulations, and I think that's the important part. And if it expedites the business plan of the owner of the building,
Right.
that's all the better.
Yeah, I agree with George. I like the idea of allowing staff to review these items because, yeah, since we only meet once a month, I mean, it could, if they miss the window, it's quite a while to wait, so.
Right.
Any other comments? Do we just need to take a vote on this, or is?
Yeah, if we could have like a motion and a second and then
Okay.
vote on it.
I move to approve.
I'll second.
Any other comments, questions? All in favor, say aye. Do you have any public comment or general discussion? All right, that meeting's adjourned.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.